a musical talk mini from the closing night of the London production of Love Never Dies on the 27th of August 2011 with Andrew Keating and his friend Jason Burridge.
Well, good evening, and for once I'm here without Nick Hudson on the last night, the final night of Love Never Dies, and the curtain's just gone down, and I'm with my friend Jason Burridge. Hello, Jason.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I've just had the privilege of being at a final night, which I've never been at a last night before, and it was high emotions. Wow.
For both of us, it's our first final night.
Yes, I know.
Something
else.
Well, quite. And where are we stood now?
We're stood at the stage door with some of the cast looking down at the window at the amassed throng, and then all the really eager beavers are up there at the stage door. So I don't think anyone's come out so far, but
it's incredibly busy, isn't it?
It is, and I think that just reflects what a lot of love for this show that there was. I guess it turned into a bit of a cult status in its time, and that's reflected in Andrew Lloyd Webber's speech on stage just now.
I was going to say, yes, we did have a special guest, didn't we? The Lord was in the audience.
We did. There was a huge commotion. And Celia Graham is just waving at the window at the moment, looking fabulous. Who, of course, plays Christine. But yes, he caused a commotion when he came in before the show, and he came on stage and spoke very, very heartfelt about how gutted. Well, I didn't use the word gutted, obviously, but
it's too posh for the word gutted.
Too posh. But how much he was gonna, miss it all, and that's Neve Perry, who played Fleck before in the original cast and on the album. So she's been invited along.
I'm presuming they're going to have a big party tonight.
Yeah. So whether they'll come down, I don't know. But as I say, Andrew was really appreciated the people that stuck through it through thick and thin. He thanked Bill Kenwright and thanked other people with who he didn't name. And he said it's one of the saddest nights of his career, but also we've made it one of the happiest, which was a nice thing to say.
It was a big audience reaction tonight. They were very vocal.
Oh my God, yes, yeah, absolutely. There were. I felt like I was on Broadway. There was cheer. That's probably normal for Broadway, Andrew. There was cheers throughout, wasn't there? There was
absolutely.
After the end of scenes, after the end of bits of reprises of songs, and we got this not new ending, but added bit to an ending, additional ending. It is the ending, a very, very ending, isn't it? Which is.
Yes, supposedly for the last 10 days. So how would you describe the change? Subtle?
It's subtle. I thought, don't eke it out and do another verse of Love Never Dies, but that was enough. It was a very kind of, obviously he sang it very high, didn't he? So it was this was the Phantom, of course, singing it, and very high, very kind of emotional, and it tied in with the part which they've had in previous versions. Yes, a reprise of the title song, Love Never Dies.
It's quite a nice touch.
It is.
Because it's the Phantom using his music to reach out to Gustav.
It is, and comfort, and they're comforting each other, actually. He's comforted his dad, and I thought for a moment, why would he go over to this guy he hasn't known really for 5 minutes? But I think he was going over to comfort him.
Well, I think it's the lure of the music.
And the connection.
Their connection is through
the
music.
Connection. So he spent the time with Raoul, his father he's grown up with, and then he went over. So that worked for me, yeah.
So this is your first time seeing the recast.
The recast.
And obviously the final change. There will be no more in London,
they will
sadly.
not. No.
And how did you find it? I mean, I think this cast makes a lot of positive changes.
Yeah. When most of the last cast were on a recording, so you kind of think it's set in stone, but it isn't, and nothing ever is it? With casts and. I thought Hayley Flaherty, who plays Meg, considering that character's been messed around with so much in all the revisions, she's made a really, really good job of it and brought a lot of truth to it, a lot of believability. She was excellent in the final scene. She was trembling, she was scared, she was a frightened girl, and rather than kind of being just playing out psychotic, it worked for me. There was a truth in it.
She's fragile throughout. She's much more of a victim.
Yeah, she is, absolutely. And
I think with Summer's very confident as a
steely,
an actress.
Yeah.
And so there was, maybe you couldn't get through that with her.
Absolutely. And Dave Thaxton is, obviously he a fantastic singer, and, no disrespect to David, Joseph Milson, but he's obviously an infinitely better singer. He is a singer-actor. and I just loved how he sung it, and I wish there was a recording of his vocals in the show. So they were great.
Recordings, we believe the Australian version's being recorded for DVD.
It's being filmed in September, and I think it's being filmed 4 times, but only once in front of an audience. So, for technical reasons, edits and all the rest of it. So, in September. So,
I mean, parts of it are up on YouTube, aren't they?
Yeah. I think that was filmed for a press screening of it, a press showing of it in Melbourne. So,
and how would you describe the differences from what you've seen?
The most obvious thing is that the stage set has a lot more levels to it. The problem is with this version, which I find, the one we've got here in the West End, is that it's very flat. It's very based on the floor, and from what I've seen of the clips of Australia, it's all on different levels, and that's really good, and a very obvious visual feast, and it's just a little bit more weird and wonderful, the Australian one as well, a bit more into the kind of bit more into the burlesque, a bit more into the phantasma kind of craziness. I enjoy that.
It feels sad to see it go tonight, doesn't it?
I know. I didn't think this would... Well, I thought this could happen, but I hoped it wouldn't happen. I thought it would rally round, but for whatever reason, they've decided to take it off. So...
do you think we'll see it again?
Yes, I think we will, but it will be a while. It will be a while, and they'll have to... I think that there's still even a bit more you could do with the actual script. So I mean
the script
a
has
bit more.
Seen quite a few revisions. I think this is the most solid it's been, and that's,
it is.
That's the shame in it closing now, that it works better than it ever has done.
Yes. I know. Oh my God, it's closed.
Do you think it's even possible to tour it? A touring version would be a very different show, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Would it work on a smaller basis?
Possibly.
Would the Robot Unicorn travel, Jason?
No, the Robot Unicorn wouldn't travel, but I've seen some really big productions on UK tours, so I think a lot of it is possible, really, and they don't need to have some of the whizzes and bangs, and it's not like, as I say, I've seen a lot more technological stuff in the West End than the stage here. It's great, but it's not something that couldn't be replicated fairly similarly, or do something different without it not still being a spectacle, because it doesn't need to be that much of a spectacle. It needs a bit of wow moments, but people are there for the continuation and the love of those characters.
So the big question, does it count as a flop or not?
It's very easy to say what a flop is, isn't it, these days? Everyone's very keen to say what a flop is. But no, I don't think it was. I don't think it was a flop, because it lasted 18 months, which in this day and age is actually quite good, I think. And it's hard to compare it to something like Phantom and Les Mis that are of another age. Even Mamma Mia and Chicago from the 90s, they are actually of another age now. Would they last that long if they hadn't built up that reputation? It's really hard to compare.
I mean, strangely, the other show that's closing tonight, although not permanently, is Chicago. And of course, Chicago was here at the Adelphi, so it's a little irony that you've got the two shows closing together.
But Chicago's a bit like a kind of a hermit, really. It'll go where there's room for it, and but I think that's Dennis Lawson over there, actually, of Star Wars fame. Anyway.
Hello, Dennis.
Does he think Love Never Dies as well?
I don't know. Do you think Love Never Dies?
It doesn't. No, it doesn't. Absolutely true.
Or is the heart slow to learn, Jason?
The heart... the heart is slow to learn. Yes, and I think...
or does our kind of love never die? Which one?
Our kind of love.
Our kind of love never dies.
Are you doing the accent? Yeah. The Heart is Slow to Learn has got really lovely lyrics, and it would have worked very well in the show as well, because Christine was faced with a very, very horrible decision, really, and you could... And Celia Graham's fantastic, and she brought out the conflicting emotions, in the role, and with her responsibilities to her husband, to Gustav, her son. I felt a guilt and a responsibility to the Phantom, and a pity still, but obviously she did love him.
But she gets treated really badly by
everyone
now.
She gets treated badly by everybody. I think she's used...
strangled?
Well, you think she's used to abusive relationships, don't you? I think this is probably it. So, Yeah, she's.
At least she gets to rest at the end.
Oh gosh, she gets to lay down for the last probably
she
2
gets
minutes.
strangled and then she gets shot.
She does. She's a glutton, that woman. But her father died when she was very young, so she's obviously desperate
She's
for
had
love.
a hard life. Now I can't remember. Did Meg shoot her deliberately when it first started?
Yeah. No, I don't think she. I don't think she ever shot her deliberately. But I noticed tonight, in previous ones, she'd always had the gun pointed towards her, and tonight, it was pointed away. It was very, very accidental tonight.
So Phantom 3.
No. This one has been too wobbly to do. So if this had been a runaway success, who knows? It would have been stretching it a bit, but who knows?
Do you think there's any chance that it will ever be seen on Broadway? Or do you think that's it now? Will it kind of go
No, I
away
think it could.
silently,
I don't see why. I do not see why people couldn't say, "Oh, it's hardly." It's got very little chance going to Broadway. Why? I know. Is it because Andrew Lloyd Webber's past shows have not done so well? But the love of Phantom here is as massive as massive as in America. So it's got a chance. I don't know. That's all I can say. I find it quite demeaning to say, well, is it not good enough for Broadway? Well, of course it's good enough for Broadway. Don't get me on my hobby horse.
even a bad Andrew Lloyd Webber or kind of an off-colour Andrew Lloyd Webber is better than a lot of.
And there has been there has been a lot of interest. It's the critics, I believe, are really powerful in New York, and they could be the ones that could generate the negative publicity. That was generated here as well by the love should die.
Are you happy now with your mugs and t-shirts?
Wave my fist at them. Yeah.
I know.
Exactly.
Well,
Get a life.
The main thing is everybody's now unemployed. It's like,
I know.
Okay,
and they are hugely talented people, and probably some of the most talented in the West End. Fantastic singing.
And every time you see Ramin, he's no perfect. You've never seen him.
Absolutely. I have never seen him, and he has vocally challenging part. Yeah. My God, and he is on stage for far longer than Phantom is in Phantom of the Opera. Let's remember that as well.
But we will see him as the Phantom again, won't we?
Yes, I will.
And where will that be?
That will be at
where?
the Royal Albert Hall, and that will be around the 2nd, 3rd of October. And Andrew, in his wisdom, has decided to regroup the wonderful chemistry and pairing of Ramin. I want to say Boogaloo, I'm not going to say it. Karimloo and Sierra Burgess, who, of course, the original
Sierra Burgess.
Lovely, well, you would know, who played Phantom and Christine in this production.
She was both lovely and fragrant.
Yes. Wow. I'm envious. I mean, I can't even get to see Celia Graham at the moment. No disrespect, but,
Well,
but we all think they're having a party, and they're not really going to come out. And why would they?
Sadly, we're not invited.
Why would they? I'm not on the list.
No.
A few of them, the minor cast of less. God love them. I can see one of the men over there. So But,
and there's certainly a few fans in tonight, weren't there?
Definitely.
There's a bit of weeping.
There was weeping. I mean, and I know people. Can you get that, ladies and gentlemen? Oh no, someone is actually at the door now. That's exciting, but I don't know who. I think a lot of people, even the people that I've seen on other forums that do love the show, they acknowledge that it's not perfect. There are some flaws which any intelligent person can't deny. But isn't that the same for a lot of musicals? But if you love it, you love it. If you love the music, if you love the characters, if you love the performances, if you love just the whole seduced by the magic of it, then you can kind of let that go, unless it's completely preposterous, and it's not completely preposterous, except perhaps the Unicorn.
Definitely the Unicorn.
The Unicorn can go. I don't know what they're doing as an alternative to that in
I've grown to love
Australia.
This, though.
I know you
really?
have, and so have I, so thank you for...
I think having the CD to kind of get familiar with something is helpful because it's sung through.
Yeah.
It's maybe harder to follow. I mean, there are a lot of good shows, but let's take Over the Road, Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
It's a good show, it's a great show, but I wouldn't want to see it again.
No.
Like, kind of once is enough.
No, there's not that attachment for us.
No, it's a good night out.
Yeah. But, when characters are drawn quite deep like that, and, some people, they're drawn in a deep, melodramatic, complex emotions, and people start to invest in that. They can't, you can't help it. You care about these characters, so that's what makes you come back. And I think what's made people come back is the changes as well, because every time I go, I see something different. So, yeah.
And that's intriguing because every time I see it now, I'm like, oh, did they do that last time?
Well, it's just what I was thinking tonight. Just what I was thinking tonight.
Can't worry me.
Didn't they get to keep the costumes? I don't know.
Well, I think people are going to be here for a very long time.
I think they are.
I think it's time for us to probably sink into the shadows, Jason, and wave goodbye to Love Never Dies.
You've got to say goodbye at some point. You know, I don't believe in prolonging the agony. So, enjoy it, everyone.
So, goodbye, Ramin, and thank you, the Lord.
More than halfway real till I hear you sing once more.
Copyright MusicalTalk 2011, except with the songs where the copyright persists with the original creators.
And there's Mr. Yeah.
What are you doing?
Can we speak?
Hello. What am I speaking?
We're from London.
If
If you went to see the show, so
So is it a sex show?
no, it's
It's
a
a
West.
sex show.
It's
What is it?
Andrew Lloyd Webber's Love Never Dies.
What's that? What is
What
that?
is that?
You
Is
know,
there
there's
bit of
like
sex
West.
in it?
You know, there's West
Then
End
we'll
Theatre,
chill.
and it's quite a big deal.
Yeah.
In
Is that why people are waving?
yeah,
at us?
absolutely.
Okay, because we don't understand. So it's a West End show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it
Okay.
closed tonight.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Andrew Lloyd Webber was there. Have you heard of him?
Yeah, I have actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I have. No, we thought it was a sex show because they're all coming out in their bra and their towels and.
Oh, really?
They do a number where they've
They
not got many
they
clothes
are
on,
kind of
but yeah.
performing
It's just a
burlesque.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
are.
Oh shit.
It's all right. Don't worry.
Yeah, everyone's very hyped up tonight, whether they know anything about the West End or they don't.
We've just explained to you Andrew Lloyd Webber is to someone. She's very excited.
She knew who he was, which was reassuring.
The concept of musical theatre we've explained.
No, I don't think she knows that there's a huge industry in London's glitzy West End that's called theatre. Yeah.
We were just
Passed
asked.
her by.
We were just asked if it was a sex show. Which, well, I don't know.
There's nudity.
There
Meg,
is some.
Meg Jury gets her baps out.
Yeah, actually, you can see more breasts than you
Yeah.
could do with Summer, couldn't you?
Ooh, yes.
I don't know why. Maybe Summer had kind of minimal breasts written into her concept.
Yeah, it helps
I'm
being
not
a
sure.
dancer, actually.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can't be too big. Oh, that's Adam Pearce who plays Squelch. Oh my God, Ramin's at the window. I better take a photo.